What seems to be the issue?
I just need to be on this flight.
You can't get on this flight.
I need water immediately.
You've been denied boarding.
Today we've got insane video on Rachel Jackson. She's a BBC comedian, and apparently she's famous over there in Scotland and Britain. And we're going to take a look at what she did. It's incredible. You got to watch this. And we're going to break down her body language and tell you exactly what's going on. Greg, tell us about Rachel.
Yeah, in August of 2023, Rachel Jackson, who is listed as a BBC star, she's been on a bunch of TV stuff and that, and she was in an incident with the Nashville police in the airport, resulting in an arrest for disorderly conduct. Now, she said since then, in May of 2024, I had so many mental and physical health problems in Tennessee and was so messed about with so many medications it fried me. Let's see what we see.
Oh, shit.
Hey, there's a lounge.
Is this her?
I'm just trying to direct you to the smoking lounge because I didn't know that was an option before.
Is that?
Hey, there's a smoking lounge at B7.
Is your name?
Yeah.
Okay. Seriously, I got over here. How you doing?
Here's my stuff, though.
Oh, sorry? Ma'am? You all right?
Yeah, I just need to go for a smoke.
Okay. Well, I need you to talk to me first.
No, I need to go for a smoke. That's why I've laid all my stuff out here, because I trust humanity.
Okay, but you're going to talk to me first, okay?
No.
Yes.
And you're not going to arrest me.
You're going to talk to me, though.
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't trust you. I really don't trust you.
Right. And that's okay. You don't need to trust me, but you need to talk to me. Is everything okay?
I will be once I get a smoke and take an anxiety pill before the flight.
Okay, but I need to understand.
Oh my God! No! You need to back off, man.
I need to
You
understand.
need to back off. I've been treated horrendously by some of the American police.
Okay.
So back off. Okay. Let me finish my cheese. Let me finish my.
Are you on any type of medication, ma'am, that we need to know about?
I'm on marijuana and anxiety pills and.
Okay. All right. Anything else that might explain this behavior?
Absolutely not.
No? Where are you coming from?
I'm going to London. That's all that matters.
You're going to London? Okay, I'd like you to get there if I can help you.
Yeah, I hear you, but I was traumatized by the American police.
How's that? Are you okay? Okay, so just going to explain.
I'm absolutely fine. You just let me finish my chicken soup.
I'm going to let you do that, but
because I need my physical health more than ever.
I understand, but I'm going.
Jacob, just back off for a minute, Jacob, because I was Jacob's favourite wife.
I'm just going to explain to you once you're done with your chicken soup what the deal is, okay?
Yeah, I get it. So just back off for a minute, yeah.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
So the first thing she says, or one of the things she says that puts me on alert, and she uses what I would call push-pull words. She says, my physical health is important to me right now. I would immediately think, okay, this gal may have something going on. She may be taking some kind of antipsychotics or something. I need to pay attention to that. Now, something's going on inside of her head. We can't tell whether that's manufactured substances or on-board substances, something going on in her brain chemistry. But she's clearly got a lot of something going on. We'll see it in a minute. We'll see really dilated pupils and that kind of thing as we move forward. I don't assume I know which drug anybody's taking based on any kind of that. I just assume, okay, something is up with this person, either mental health, either some drugs. We'll just go from there. I also would talk for just a minute about the first thing I would think is if there's a drug that causes somebody to be very organized, she's that. Look at her stuff on the table. And she's taken up a bunch of space, which I call inconsiderate. I think there's a difference between inconsiderate and rude. Rude means you're intentionally causing grief for other people. Inconsiderate means you don't think about it. And in our culture today, there's a lot of inconsiderate. People do it everywhere you turn. Park in stupid places and that kind of thing. She's entitled. She's acting as if you really want to know how entitled she is, watch as the cops walk up, see the attendants and how out of sorts they are and how normal she is. She's just doing whatever she wants to do. I think she doesn't understand the nature of escalation. Anytime you write a law and a cop has to enforce that law, he's got the right to defend himself, and that escalation can occur. You can end up in really big problems over something very small. So if you think you can manhandle cops and that kind of thing, not very smart. I think aside from the drugs and all that, there's probably a little bit of another smartest person in the room, because she turns her back on him, blocks, and I think that's all it is she's blocking just to get away. I wonder why she was treated horrendously, as she says in her last encounter with the police. If it was like this, These cops are using asymmetric behavior to disarm the situation, something that you don't see all the time, and these guys are fantastic. When she says, I get it, look at all that contempt in her face, her brow, and that fake compressed smile, he's still asymmetric. There's nothing going on with him. He's just really calm, really contained. And right out of the gate, we wonder what exactly is going on with this person. You know, I spent most of my life sitting across the table from people trying to determine if they're honest or dishonest, good actor or bad actor. And I think I'm pretty good at that. I'll bet you are too if you've been with us a while. But what do you do when it's on the internet, when it's electronic, when it's something you can't control? I think few of us have tools for that. Just think about the last time a company you trusted announced a data breach that included your personal information. How'd you feel? More importantly, what did you do about it? And if you don't think you're a victim, consider the national public data breach, where 2.9 billion records were compromised. Those records were used for background checks and included things like full names, addresses, date of birth, phone numbers, and most importantly, social security numbers. For me, social security numbers screams identity theft, and that's where Aura comes in. Aura is our sponsor today, and Aura has one of the best identity theft protections. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to alert you about potential identity theft. Every adult on the account, up to 5, gets $1 million in identity theft insurance to help cover eligible losses and fees, with a total of up to $5 million in coverage. They also cover data broker opt-out. These data brokers hoard your information and sell it, and they're forced to take it down if you ask, but they make it difficult for you to ask, or it takes care of that for you. So you are taking away one of those scammers' tools. They offer financial fraud protection, where you get alerted in minutes if your credit file's been compromised, like if someone tries to open a credit card or a loan in your name, and they instantly lock your Experian file with a tap for fast security. They offer VPN, password managers, and their data security and privacy is certified to the level that banks and military uses. Plus, Aura will never sell your data to third party, or has 24/7 US-based support. Around the clock, US fraud specialists are available to help. I get all this in one app for an affordable price, and I'm not leaving myself open or my family vulnerable to data breaches and brokers if I can help it. I don't think you want to either, so try aura.com/TBP for 2 weeks for free. That's aura.com/TBP. That'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. Scott, what do you got?
All right. Well, right out of the gate, she's wearing 2 pairs of glasses. So that made me go, uh-oh, we got one here. And when she started, and these guys, you're right, Greg, they're being cool with her, man. They're being calm. That's the way Nashville is, though. Those guys, it's hard to get them riled. And they're doing perfectly. She gets all loud and they stay calm. No matter what she says, they stay calm. Nobody has that look of, no mean face, no nothing, just being calm. So something obviously has her detached from reality, or psychologically here, because she's not acting like a normal person would act. So my first impression was she'd taken a big edible, a little bit too much, because I've seen people act like that before when they're doing that. But at the same time, I think if she's taking a stimulant, her pupils would be smaller than they are. So maybe she's, I don't know, in my opinion, it looks to me like that she's blasted on something, and I would think an edible, and she just got too jacked on that is at the airport. I think she's going to ride it all the way home. And then when she's talking about my stuff is all laid out because I trust humanity, like you were saying, Greg, she's got her stuff laid out there, man. That's weird. That's odd. A lot of times you'll see someone she's not on meth, but you'll see meth, people who are new to meth, they'll start doing that. They'll really organize things and clean things up and that's why when there's a couple little towns you can go through at nighttime, and in the middle of the night, you see people out washing their cars and things like that, just cleaning up, doing the yard, all kinds of stuff. And it just looks like it's the afternoon for them because they're wide awake. So I think it's some kind of a stimulant plus, who knows what. I don't know. But I don't think the police actually see this as a threat. There's no way she's going to be able to fight him and win. They know that. So they're not relaxed. They are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They look like they're in charge, and they're being really nice to her, and they're not overdoing it. Because right at the beginning, you say, "Okay, let's go. We're getting you out of here." I think they've decided that she's leaving, but they haven't had the situation come up where they can say, "Well, obviously, you should see too that you're going to have to leave the airport and you can't go anywhere." Now, that's the impression I got anyway. And then she finds out that ignoring him doesn't do anything, and she walks right past him, is trying to like move on with her day. That doesn't do anything, and then. At some point, you see little bits of panic start up. I think that's because of whatever she's on as well. So, and I'm assuming what she did was just walk into the lounge of somewhere. Was it a Delta lounge?
Yeah.
So
she's on British. She's on British.
Yeah. So she just walked in without checking in or something, as though they're eating and drinking and doing everything else, not caring. So I think that detachment shows you how much she thinks about her being famous. These days nobody cares about celebrities. So that's probably another thing she's maybe not used to or ready for yet, is the ignoring of that, even if she was a celebrity, because nobody cares. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, so I just want to put forward the theory, Scott, that those car washers might be night shift workers, and they're just washing their cars.
That's true too.
Now, having said that, Scott, they might be utter meth heads as well. So
that's true.
So,
I don't know how many meth heads wash their car.
Yeah, I'm not putting your theory. I'm not putting your theory down at all. I'm just giving an alternative, just in case that town suddenly starts, writing down below.
Where is that town so I can park my car and let them wash it? I got something to do.
So I got to do is get close, man. So I got to do is get close to one of those houses.
Somebody will steal it and wash it for you. It's just perfect.
Probably.
Anyway, look, there's a lot going on here. I absolutely agree. Either there's something very ordered there, or there is something very ordered there, and territorial aggression as well, like filling the space. And we see that as well with these big pushback gestures. There's like, hey, hang back, guys. And there's like, whoa, like, give me space. And we see this space being taken up in all kinds of ways. We've got, let me finish my cheese. Let me finish we don't quite get to find out what else she wants to finish, but she starts with 2 chop gestures into the palm of her hand and then a fist into the palm of her hand. Immediately I go, okay, there's some aggression here. Immediately, if I were those officers there, I would be thinking, okay, yeah, we've got one here, and this could escalate, and you'll see it does to a certain extent. So we got these chops, these fists, these barriers. It's aggressive, it's territorial aggressive, and then we've got this moment where she puts together in her mind Jacob, which is the name of the officer, or his surname, and is her name Rachel?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Rachel being the favorite wife of Jacob in the Bible. Like, she puts this together. So it kind of so there's some links being made in her mind that instantly I go, I've seen that kind of thinking before in this kind of, we've done breakdowns of some quite serious, a top serious criminal who can make these, bizarre connections between things and non sequitur. And we get this sudden non sequitur here, and I instantly go, as I've written down here, psychotic ? Now, is she an out and out psychotic? I don't think so, because we see her flip in this between these quite psychotic moments and others. So I instantly go, okay, have we got a concoction of drugs going on here? Have we probably specifically got an antipsychotic that's been taken, which can produce some quite psychotic effects in trying to stop psychotic effects? That's the strange thing about antipsychotics. Have we got other stuff involved as well, Scott, as you say, some edibles involved? I mean, we can't blood test, so we don't know what's going on here. But instantly there's enough here that suggests to me territorial aggressive, some quite psychotic moments already. It's all going Pete Tong. It's all going to go quite wrong on this one. Chase, what do you think?
Yeah. So first off, bravo to the officers being really professional and he's calm in talking to her. Even his voice is not escalating the situation. With all of her things laid out on that counter like they are, there's already something that we can observe there. There is an attempt at gaining control over the environment, which we can see even before she starts talking. So we can predict that a lot of issues in the future, just at this beginning, might revolve around control. And when a person is on any kind of drug that is cognitively impairing, their brain seeks to escape that through control or familiarity. So anytime, that's the first two things that you're going to look for. And if I want to de-escalate a situation, I'm going to give at least a placebo of control and give that person some familiarity. Second thing to really pay attention to here is her orientation and the ventral orientation. This is where we're pointing our shoulders. If you watch how she responds, she needs to point her entire body to the officer when she's making any response or any statement. She turns and full faces them every response. She doesn't just turn her head and answer. She turns all the way around to respond. So let's get into the science of this really quick, just because I've obsessed over this for a long time. So there's some medications that can depress the CNS, the central nervous system, like benzodiazepines and opioids and antipsychotics, Mark, like you mentioned. And antipsychotics are dopamine blocking drugs. So your most typical stuff is going to be first generation. And this is like your haloperidol, your chlorpromazine or thorazine. Then you have your second generation antipsychotics, and these are less typical, but this is like risperidone, Seroquel, Abilify. You'll hear those kind of brand names thrown out. But taking these, especially with marijuana, leads to something called extrapyramidal syndrome. So these drugs block dopamine, which affects our body movement, and it increases stiffness and rigidity in the neck and shoulders. So you're kind of left like turning like Batman, like your head is kind of stuck in that Batman mask. It also impairs proprioception. This is our sense of where our body is in space. And it makes smooth head movements very difficult. And some people might over-orient themselves to a perceived threat if they're feeling threatened here. So this is turning their whole body every time they speak. So I have to take this opportunity for a quick public service announcement. All marijuana is a real-life neurotoxin. It is a neurotoxin. This means that it causes brain inflammation, billions of free radicals accumulating in the brain, but this depends on a few factors like age of first use, frequency, dosage, but it's absolutely a neurotoxin. It can be beneficial for some conditions, but there are some serious risks that a lot of people do not openly talk about.
For shit.
Hey, there's a lounge.
Is this her?
I'm just trying to direct you to the smoking lounge because I didn't know that was an option before.
Is that?
Hey, there's a smoking lounge at B7.
Is your name?
Yeah.
Okay. Seriously, I got over here. How you doing?
Here is my stuff, though.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You all right?
Yeah, I just need to go for a smoke.
Okay. Well, I need you to talk to me first.
No, I need to go for a smoke. That's why I've laid all my stuff out here, because I trust humanity.
Okay, but you're going to talk to me first, okay?
No.
Yes.
And you're not going to arrest me.
You're going to talk to me, though.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't trust you. I really don't trust you.
Right. And that's okay. You don't need to trust me, but you need to talk to me. Is everything okay?
I will be once I get a smoke and take an anxiety pill before the flight.
Okay, but I need to understand.
Oh my God! No! You need to back off, man.
I need to
You need to back off. I've been treated horrendously by some of the American police.
Okay.
So back off, okay? Let me finish my cheese. Let me finish my.
Are you on any type of medication, ma'am, that we need to know about?
I'm on marijuana and anxiety pills and.
Okay. All right. Anything else that might explain this behavior?
Absolutely not.
No? Where are you coming from?
I'm going to London, that's all that matters.
You're going to London? Okay, I'd like you to get there if I can help you.
Yeah, I hear you, but I was traumatized by the American police.
How's that? Are you okay? Okay, so I'm just going to explain.
I'm absolutely fine. If you just let me finish my chicken soup.
I'm going to let you do that, but
because I need my physical health more than ever.
I understand, but I'm going.
Jacob, just back off for a minute, Jacob, because I was Jacob's favourite wife.
I'm just going to explain to you once you're done with your chicken soup what the deal is, okay?
Yeah, I get it. So just back off for a minute, yeah.
Okay.
Amazing, thanks, guys.
What's that?
I said thank you, guys.
No, you need to talk to us real quick. Okay.
Well, let me,
Right. You do your thing. So the reason that we're here is because they explained you were behaving erratically, like somewhat. That's okay. Here's the thing. You're in the wrong lounge.
No, I know that.
Okay.
And I was perfectly aware of that.
Okay.
When I came into Delta.
Okay. So can you...
I used America's help.
Right. Can you explain why you made the decision to come in here?
No, absolutely not.
You can't explain that?
I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me. I can't do that when I'm famous.
It's not TV.
Okay?
So...
No, guys, you really need to help.
I'm trying to help.
Okay?
So we need to get you out of the Delta Sky Club.
Okay, thank you. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
Do you know what gate you're at?
Because I can put my pictures over if necessary.
Do you know what gate you're at?
Oh, yeah, B11.
B11? All right. We'll see if we can get you over there. Do you have anything that's with you? Like carry-on?
No, absolutely not.
I'm trying to help you.
I know.
I just need you to work with me, too. You know?
Yeah, of course. I need to leave me alone.
Why? I'm just trying to make conversation.
You literally tripped out with me. Just relax.
Oh, I'm relaxed.
Just get me free place in the lounge I need to be at so I can smoke.
Well, there isn't a smoking lounge. The only one is right here. And you got to pay for it.
I was told B5 was the...
No, I don't think that British Airlines has the smoking lounge at Bravo 5.
Well, you need to help me. We'll go for smoke before I get on the flight.
Smoking lounge is right here, but you have to pay to get in.
$10, please.
I don't have $10. We're waiting on the cashier.
Okay, cool.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, listen, once again, the officers here, like zero escalation on this. They've got, wouldn't be where I'd be right now, but then that's probably why I'm not an officer. So yeah, it's already pretty intolerable what is happening here for most people. They're keeping super calm, which is great, especially with some of the sounds she's producing. Now, she's from Scotland, so we got a Scottish accent there. I would place it somewhere up higher in Scotland, like Inverness or something like that for me. So, because it's a bit of a mixture. There's sometimes a bit of Edinburgh and a bit of Glasgow, and then some...
Show us the differences. Show us some of the differences, Mark.
Oh, well... The Glasgow is way, though I think she'll have spent some time in Glasgow at some point. It's way more aggressive. Naturally, the baseline of it will sound more aggressive and just way less understandable to most human beings. I'm not even going to attempt. There'll be too many Scottish watching that if I start to delineate between Scottish accents, they'll have me. I'm flying the Canadian flag today, so I'm not even going to go near Britain at this point. I won't risk it. So you can thank me later, Scotland. But there's this rolled and she hits an R really, but she hits it gutturally down in her chest somewhere at a sound level where when I did some voices for Lord of the Rings, the third one, and if I'm doing orcs, you're trying to create a sound that will really kind of resonate through a cinema and affect people on a kind of a guttural level. So down there. She hits...
Mark, I hate to keep breaking in. Let's hear one of your lines.
Kill them all now. So you got to hit that down, that really guttural thing. She hits that on really. Go back, play it. That really hits down here. It's quite scary. actually. So I think there's some aggression in there. Yeah. Now, look, I'll just say this. She's got no carry-on, so she says. That's not the usual behavior of most any passenger. To be walking around an airport with zero carry-on, for me, I go, okay, you are now a complete outlier to everybody else in this airport. And what's interesting is she's being uncompliant with the officers, but airports are designed to make people compliant, designed to create as much compliance as possible. It's a very difficult thing, getting people on and off, very expensive equipment that can go all kinds of wrong, very dangerous equipment, especially, since 9/11, things have escalated in terms of compliance. You got somebody there who has no hand luggage and is being uncompliant. They are now moving away from all the usual social rules. So she's got a lot of antisocial behaviors going on. Now, is that because she has an antisocial personality disorder? Is that because she's taken a concoction of drugs that's making her antisocial, or a bit of both? I don't know. But it's very odd how she's flipping from these guttural, aggressive sounds to then, oh yeah, it'll be 11, she says, talking about the gate. Oh yeah, it'll be 11. It's like, wow, what happened to like the aggressive, guttural sound to that? And you don't have luggage with you. Like we're not in Kansas. Well, we're in a whole other state, but we're not in Kansas anymore. Chase, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, clearly there's a mental condition going on. I'm not saying some diagnoses, but there's something cognitive happening here. We know she's a comedian and that she has prolonged periods of lucidity that can be viewed on YouTube. So I think there's likely a mix of medications, maybe some alcohol that are maybe causing what's going on. It's 7 p.m., give or take, when this video is taken. So she's not carrying any luggage and isn't aware she's obviously lost her bags. So there's some kind of cognitive impairment here for sure. So in situations like this, it really pays off to be calm. And these officers are doing an incredible job at keeping the situation just under control. It is just really unfortunate. And she may have taken some meds or something like that. Maybe that she hasn't ever mixed together before. But I'm just curious why the officer hears her say she has no carry-on and luggage and it's not a big deal to him. Maybe it is. Maybe I missed it. But there's no way that she's traveling with a passport, a vape, and a phone. So she's got to have bags somewhere. And the fact that she's not mentioning them or talking about needing to go get them in another area is a solid indicator to me that she's going through some cognitive impairment here. And at the end, she's asking the police officer for money. And I don't think that's some kind of crazy entitlement. I think she's not comprehending the situation. I think her brain is only processing the present moment just by itself. And the lack of feeling in control, lack of familiarity, is a very common reaction to that cognitive impairment. So for the officer is a 10 on the maturity and professionalism scale here. That's super impressive. Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, let's talk about asymmetric behavior right out of the gate, because that disarms people. Someone's yelling at you and you don't yell back, things typically die off. There's a whole extinction of behavior occurs. And this guy's, I agree with you 100%. They're 10 out of 10 on this, Chase. Another interesting thing, you don't need really exotic chemicals to get to this point. I worked, when I was in Arlington, Arlington, everybody's hand chosen. And we're all hand chosen based on height and weight. That was pretty much what we would always say. We had a guy in the office who was kind of squirrely, little odd. And there's a place really close to Arlington called Arlington Hall Station. And if you're an intel asset, you would know that's where the headquarters of INSCOM was located. The place you don't want to go get drunk and do something stupid. Well, this guy did. He got really, really stupidly drunk. And we all know, if you've been drunk a few times, and I think most of us have, your brain can start to make connections between things that don't have any connection. This guy ended up getting in real trouble there. The best part of the whole thing was they wouldn't let him smoke. It reminds me of her. They wouldn't let him smoke, and he melted down and started demanding from cops and all this, the MPs. And finally they said, you can't smoke in the building. He said, chain me to a car out front. So his brain is finding solutions, hers does too, finds solutions to problems that aren't real and doesn't solve the real ones. The funniest part of the whole thing is I remember they brought this little envelope over to us. We kept our hair shaved on the side, something called a high and tight, and just hair on the top. You could have it pretty moppy there. This envelope had hands full of hair he had pulled out when they wouldn't let him smoke outside. So they finally did chain him up outside and let him smoke on a car. Just like this person, he's making all kinds of bad assumptions. If she has any idea of threat assessment, you can't tell it. That defiant chin up as she looks directly into his eyes, an invasion of his physical space, that's not a real healthy thing to do. That takes a hell of a lot of constraint on his part, and he does a great job. And then she's got a furrow in her brow, and then she stares into that body cam, and that's why you know she has some kind of capability to connect real world. She's not in some wild out there location, so we know she has the capability to connect real world. And we'll find out later what happened to her bags. One thing that we'll point out is halfway through this video, they leave, go away, and then get called back because she's done so much stupid stuff. I just say, if you get to this point and you're dealing with somebody and it's you individually, try some asymmetric behavior, try to calm things down. But realistically, when you got a person who's firing on two different tracks this way, you're probably not going to get anything good to come out of it. And I don't think we're going to see anything good come out of her. Scott, what do you got?
Yeah, I agree. And her demeanor, when she's like, thanks, guys, it's like moving on. It's like that, has that office manager energy. You know, they're saying something that's not really real. It's kind of fake sound. It's not sincere, but they're just saying, yeah, thanks, guys, and moving on, not even thinking about it because they know they have to say that. So I think she's completely removed from any type of reality at all here. So, and again, like you guys have already brought up, it's odd she doesn't have a purse with her. Isn't talking about it and say, I got to go get my purse, I got to get my bag, I got to get what, or she doesn't have a purse, whatever it is. Doesn't have anything to put all of her stuff in. And she's walking around the airport with a bunch of stuff in her hands. It's just weird. But these guys, I think, know right out of the gate. Nashville, I'm going to brag on them. Nashville police officers, man, it's a whole other scene. They're so pro. You know how in South Carolina the troopers are the ones you want to watch out for over there because they're the toughest, you know. So in Nashville, these guys are the most pro. I mean, LA's look good. You know, you get over there and everybody looks like a model walking around, most of them, you know, from a movie or something. But these guys are it's just top that. I'm telling you, some of my best friends in the world are at MPD, and they're great. They're top of the line, trained, everything. Trust me, they're awesome. And then when she lets go, that thing where she says she's famous, if she lets them know she's famous, when she says I'm famous, it's just, that's why I think it's edibles, man. I think she just blasted out of her brain. Her arms aren't real close to her torso. She's doing nothing that says I'm afraid. The chin's up. You know, she's moving around pretty quick. She's not protecting herself in any way, you know, so she's not afraid. So that whole fear thing is gone. Her ego is wide open there, you know, so I agree with you, Mark. It might be some kind of psychological thing as well, that this is enhancing. I mean, everybody's talked about that on here, but I think that's what it is. But when she turns into the little monster for a second, does Mark's, Lord of the Rings voice where she says, you really need to help, like that. I think that's when they said, okay, she's not going anywhere. But you don't see that change in them because they may have decided that earlier, you know, because we find out in a little while where her bags are, but they don't know that yet. They have no earthly idea where that she even has any or knows where they are. So that's, I think, the point where they said, yeah, she's not good. She's not going anywhere, man. But they don't show it, don't say anything. They just continue to be the pros. What do you say, Greg?
Yeah, they actually leave her for 20 minutes and then get called back. I mean, they're that professional. They're just saying, look, if the airline can deal with her, let her go.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm going with edibles. I think she just like hit one hard, man. She's in a hole.
Okay.
Amazing. Thanks, Greg.
What's that?
I said thank you, guys.
No, you need to talk to us real quick. Okay.
Well, let me,
Right. You do your thing. So the reason that we're here is because they explained you were behaving erratically, like somewhat.
Sleep.
That's okay. Here's the thing. You're in the wrong lounge.
No, I know that.
Okay.
And I was perfectly aware of that
Okay.
when I came into Delta.
Okay. So
Okay?
can
I
you
refused America's help.
right? Can you explain why you made the decision to come in here?
No,
Ma'am?
absolutely not.
You can't explain
I'm on
that.
TV talking like it's just you and me. I can't do that when I'm famous.
It's not TV.
Okay?
So
No,
here's-
guys, you
here's the thing.
really need to help.
I'm trying to help.
Okay, I
So
don't
we
have
need
my
to get
Gucci sunglasses
you.
on.
We need to get you out of the Delta Sky Club.
Okay, thank you. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
Do you know what gate you're at?
Because I can put my pictures over if necessary.
Do you know what gate you're at?
Oh yeah, B11.
B11. All right. We'll see if we can get you over there. Do you have anything that's with you, like carry on?
No, absolutely not.
I'm trying to help you.
I know.
I just need you to work with me too. You know?
Yeah, of course. I need to leave me alone.
Why? I'm just trying to make conversation.
You literally tripped out when just relax.
Oh, I'm
This is
relaxed.
cool. Just get me safely to the lounge I need to be at so I can smoke.
Well, there isn't a smoking lounge. The only one is right here, and you got to pay for it.
I was told B5 was the...
No, I don't think that British Airlines has a smoking lounge at Bravo 5.
Well, you need to help me. We'll go for smoke before I get on the flight.
Smoking lounge is
Oh,
right
cool.
here, but you have to pay to get in.
$10, please.
I don't have $10. We're waiting on the cashier.
Okay, cool.
This lady would like to.
Hey, hey, can I just go in, please?
Yeah, it costs $10.
Okay, I don't have any money on me.
Oh no, you got to pay for
I'm
it.
afraid.
Frontier Airlines representative to
I don't
be 10 for passenger assistance. Frontier Airlines representative to be 10 for passenger
Well,
assistance.
someone's going to have
That's
to
the
help.
rules. I'm sorry.
Well, this is stressful. If I can just go to the British Airways line.
Yeah, we
I
don't.
was told, so I was in the right place at Delta then.
No, that's not a British Airways,
Yeah, but it's closer than...
and
Someone needs to help, because I need a smoke.
they don't have a lounge
Go
either.
outside.
Help.
We're trying,
Go
but
outside. We're trying to help you, but yeah, you have to pay to go in the room. I'm sorry. That's just a rule, darling. I do apologize.
Oh, I do have my purse, it's just I left it. Yeah, come with me.
where'd you leave it?
I left it behind the counter at British Airways.
You left it behind what?
Come on, man. B11.
You left it behind here?
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. Of course, thank you. Yeah, no Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Of course, thank you.
Are those her items? Are these your items? Okay. Do you have a mode of payment in there? Okay. No, that's yours.
Thank you.
You can't leave your bags. You have to take your bags with you wherever you go.
Come on, sis,
No.
come on.
Then take your bags with you.
You have to take your bags with you, man.
Right, well then.
Nope,
My purse.
I'm not holding your stuff.
I'm not holding it up.
You can put it all back in your bag if you need to.
And you just told me that now? After you'd seen me do all that? Fucking hell.
I did not know what you were trying to do.
All right, you wait right here, and I'll see if she's in there, okay?
Okay, you can go on in.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
There's a whole lot in this clip. So when we have some kind of cognitive impairment, our brain is not just struggling for control, we're searching for familiarity. The British Airways employee was familiar. That's why you're seeing this hug happen right here. She's then holding her mouth open as she's listening to the officer. And this is not conscious. It's most likely a stress response, just trying to, the body demands more oxygen. And when the social part of our brain is impaired, the mouth being held open in public, no big deal. Doesn't matter. So when she tries to pay the officer the $10, that sealed the deal for me. So I don't think we're seeing who she truly is as a person at all here. There's cognitive impairment. I think that's very significant. And the officers are doing a pretty good job at this de-escalation. So if you have a person in your life that's in crisis, usually has some impaired reasoning. So logical arguments can feel like an attack. Trying to logic your way into it to get them to think clearly or whatever can feel like an attack. So always default to engaging senses to help ground somebody who is freaking out. So get them to look further away at something, get them to engage their senses. You also want to give them an illusion of control. And especially for police officers, present what you want them to do in the form of a question. Like, would you rather walk with us over there, or we can go get your bags right now? Same exact thing. They get to make a choice. They feel that sense of control. You give them a little placebo of control. One big thing that works really well, no matter what, is moving somebody to a location with less overwhelming stimuli. That is one of the most guaranteed ways to de-escalate somebody. We're definitely seeing it in this clip, and we're seeing her just in the present moment. I don't think she's aware of the time of day. I know she's aware of some plans that are maybe ahead off in the future. I think she's just kind of, whatever's going on, it's slamming her into the present. And anytime somebody is high escalated, even if they're not on drugs, the time dilates or constricts into just this present moment awareness. And what we're trying to do in any de-escalation is get them kind of future focused, which means they're focusing on making different choices, consequences, having a better day tomorrow, looking back on this and laughing, those kinds of things. Scott, what do you got?
I agree with you. I'm not going to be able to talk a lot about these because it's just so ingrained in me to have seen people just like this who are just blasted on edibles, because a lot of times the edibles aren't the same thing as smoking regular marijuana. And when they take edibles and it's too much and they don't realize it when it doesn't kick in at first, you see stuff like this. This is a combination of things, though. It's not just that. So because her pupils are just blown out, and her attitude's not very good, and she's not discussing her health. So usually when they get blasted on an edible, they're worried they're dying. They go right to heart attack, man. It's almost like a heart attack. So they go right to heart attack, man. So they get concerned about their health, and it's one of the funniest things. If you know they're fine, and you start seeing that, it is the funniest thing in the world to experience somebody experiencing that. Gosh, it's hilarious. So I'm gonna have to rest it right there because I can't get past the fact that I think I see what's going on. And to me, it's so funny I can't think straight about it. Greg, what do you got?
Well, she did start off by talking about my physical health. Remember, I said there's a push-pull word, and I would say you got mental health.
Oh, that's true.
You started off that way, so maybe you're right. And Chase,
Exhibit A.
We're 100% on the same page. I have right here, Rachel has her hands out, her palms are up in help when she's asking for help, and then she adapts at her forehead. That makes me wonder if she would ever do anything this outlandish if she were not under the influence of something or in some kind of crisis. I agree with you. I bet she's probably watched this and gone, what the hell? But don't know anything about her. That's only what I could see from here. She's back to this logic thing. I need to smoke and I got no money, so she's going to try to get the money from the person right next to her. My favorite thing is the lady running the place who does a Pontius Pilate and washes her hands of the situation. I love that. That's a sacred space, adapter, giving herself space and then adapting as she's watching like, oh, Lord, this woman's about to melt down. And even through all that, her very Southern, I'm sorry, baby, is trying to help this person out. This is just good old Southern folks. Well, and remember, Scott, there's a reason why people are good at de-escalation in Nashville. They get a lot of practice. Nashville is a wild place, LA-like, although I've never seen Batman and Spider-Man beating each other up on the street like I have on Hollywood.
It's coming.
So a little bit different
It's
there.
coming.
I'm sure it will.
We have the Bat Building.
But she does the same exact logic as this illogical guy who wanted to be chained to the base to the car bumper to be able to smoke when she's saying, can I go outside? Who thinks in an airport, hey, I'll go outside? When I heard that, I was like, yeah, you can. You're going to miss your flight for sure. No matter what happens, you got to do that. The other thing is I would get to the point where I think I'm not a druggy guy. Alcohol is the only drug I've ever used in my life. But when you see that something is rising up on her, I agree. Again, Chase, when you talk about her open mouth, she becomes less communicative and her mouth opens and that tongue comes out. Something is dramatically changed in her brain chemistry right there. And we don't know whether it's something she took, something she is, prescribed, or just good old onboard brain chemistry. Don't know. But something has happened right there, and it's peaked. That's all I see. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I saw just recently somebody who I know really well on an antidepressant and an antipsychotic and a little bit of alcohol, just a little bit of alcohol, and went right out of the realms of the social norm, right out the realms. And so, look, as a warning to everybody, when it says on the bottle, like, do not take with alcohol or any other kind of substance, often they're trying to be helpful with that. And I suspect there may be an element of that here. I'm not saying that there's not some edibles involved, Scott. I'm thinking there's some other stuff. I mean, airports, you're going to take a long flight to the UK. It's like, what am I going to do on the flight? Okay, I'll take one of those. And before you know it, you've got the police officers around you. Oh, now, what we've got now, though, is she's vacillating between just being a toddler, like a 3-year-old, and just not understanding anything of what's going on, to a kind of belligerent teenager. So she's left that any adult kind of ability to reason, and she's in that toddler, belligerent teenager reasoning. I start to think, okay, we're going to get a tantrum at some point, and we will a little bit later on. So we're edging in that direction. But what's really interesting for me is she's lost all ideas of the social norms of just commerce. Like, you go to a store and they have some kind of thing that a service for you, which is the smoking room. It's a service. Okay. Well, then you got to pay for it. Well, I don't understand. It's like, this is just commerce. This is just buying and selling, which has been around certainly for maybe at least 20,000 years. It's like, we all get taught, I remember my parents going, so this is money, like, pretend to buy this carrot from me. Okay, so we get taught all of this stuff. Suddenly it's like, I don't remember any of this stuff. So she's lost all reasoning of social commerce, the usual rules and regulations that would happen in an airport, former deals that have been put in place. So there's, so again, you go, well, antisocial disorder, drugs, both. And then, just like you were suggesting there, Chase, when the head goes back and the mouth opens at that point, well, I haven't seen that with antisocial disorders. I've only seen that with drugs, and it's a client. So I used to work with at risk, and I would have a lot of people who would be on heroin while they're with me, and every now and again you'd be chatting to somebody, and suddenly it'd be like, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. You're high.
You stick your tongue out and all.
Yeah, well, that's not a heroin thing, but we'll come to what drug that one might be. But so that instantly says to me, again, it's data point of 1, so it's worth what it's worth. But for me, I go, okay, there's drug use going on here for sure. That's all I got on that one. Let's have another.
Beautiful.
Good one, guys.
Yeah, Greg, you went in early. Got the head down. I'm going to give that one to you.
This lady would like to.
Hey, can I just go in, please?
Yeah, it costs $10.
Okay, I don't have any money on me.
Oh, no, you got to pay for
I'm
it.
afraid.
Frontier Airlines representative to be Frontier Airlines representative to be sent for passengers.
Well, someone's going to have
That's
to
the
help.
rules. I'm sorry.
Well, this is stressful. If I can just go to the British Airways line.
Yeah, we
I
don't.
was told, so I was in the right place at Delta then.
No, that's not a British Airways.
Yeah, but it's closer than.
And
Someone needs to help because I need a smoke.
they don't have a lounge
Go
either.
outside.
Help.
We're trying,
Go
but
outside. We're trying to help you, but you have to pay to go in the room. I'm sorry. That's just a rule, darling. I do apologize.
Oh, I do have my purse. It's just I left it. Yeah, come with me.
where'd you leave it?
I left it behind the counter at the British Airways.
You left it behind what?
Come on, man. B11.
You left it behind here?
Hey, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Of course, thank you.
Are those her items? Are these your items? Okay. Do you have a mode of payment in there? Okay. No, that's yours.
Thank you.
You can't leave your bags. You have to take your bags with you wherever you go. No. Then take your bags with you.
You have to take your bags with you, man.
Right, well then.
Nope, I'm not holding your stuff.
I'm not holding it up.
You can put it all back in your bag if you need to.
And you just told me that now? After you'd seen me do all that? Fucking hell.
I did not know what you were trying to do.
All right, you wait right here, and I'll see if she's in there, okay?
Okay, you can go on in.
The water fountain.
What seems to be the issue?
I just need to be on this flight.
You can't get on this flight.
I need water immediately.
You've been denied boarding.
I need water immediately.
Nope. Stop. Stop.
Okay, help me towards the water then.
No, you're not getting on.
No, help me towards the water.
We'll get you water, but you're not getting on this flight.
Where's the water fountain? Can
Carousel
someone...
10? All right.
Oh, get off me, man. I asked the water fountain.
Yeah, we're getting you water. Let's go.
I mean, seriously. Some women need to pee.
Let's go.
Because you can't be putting your hands on women like that.
When I'm escorting you out, I can. It's right here.
All right.
All right, so here's what's happening. You're going to stop and listen to me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Dare you get your hands
It's not going to happen. Here's the thing. You've been denied boarding.
by the captain. I listen to captain's orders
And the
because I've seen
captain's
Titanic.
not boarding.
I've seen Titanic. I am White Lotus. I am Titanic.
Okay.
Get your hands off me.
We're going out.
We're
We
not
are
gonna-
escorting you out. You are requested to leave the property.
Well, guess what?
Get out of my face.
F off.
Get out of my face. All right. Ma'am.
Get your hands off me while I drink my water.
Nope. Back up. Ready?
You've got to be ready
Turn
to go.
around.
Gone in 60 seconds.
You're under arrest.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
No.
Turn around, put your hands
Not
behind your back.
again. Not again.
Put your hands behind your back.
Get your f***ing hands off
Stop
me.
resisting. Stop resisting.
No. No.
Stop resisting.
Help someone. Help. Help. Oh. Help.
Okay.
Stop.
Control that heat, Tim.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
So this is when they're called back. Remember I said there's a 20-minute break. They go, hey, we're going to let her go, let her get on the plane, do all that. Even though she'd given her bags to the airline, I've never been able to do that. They didn't let me go give them all my bags and leave them there. I don't understand it, but maybe she was famous enough somebody knew. I don't know. Anyway, but when they come back, they've been asymmetric up until now. Let's see how well they take it. And I don't think they're going to take it very well. You automatically, earlier we said either she's entitled and irrational or something else. It's something else. There's no doubt. I mean, forget about the tongue. She's going, you can't be putting your hands on women that way. Well, that badge allows me to put my hands on women that way and to manhandle them and move them and arrest them. But she does it again. She does it angry, defiant chin, thrust out. She's got her teeth exposed. She's still not grasping the gravity of what's going on. She's got this rational track running about you can't touch women that way. She doesn't say me. She says women. She's got a rational track running and an irrational track. And then she gets this whole thing about the Titanic and giant illustrators about, I've seen the Titanic, so her brain is firing. This is like a drunk conversation with people. You know, I always said the funniest conversations I ever had were with really drunk people in the Army who would have a rational thought process with irrational thoughts sprinkled in, and it was amusing to me to listen to some of their conversations. And if you want proof she's irrational, she puts her head in harm's way. She's not prioritizing the threat like somebody else who would figure this out. There's substance for sure. We all know that. And she even puts her hands on this guy. And she rages at the water and the chicken soup. I love those two things. It's just outright rage. Don't interfere with me eating my chicken soup, cheese, chicken soup, and this. And now we see the first change in the officers. The officer standing to the side does that disapproval and disdain fairly quickly. This is about to ramp up. There's about to be escalation. They still are going to be professional. But here we go. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, that tongue coming out. I was saying you don't see that often, but you do if you work in a primary school. So it's so childlike, it's so unabashed. No idea that in an airport full of social risk, I shouldn't just loll my head back and stick out my tongue.
Especially when you're famous.
Thirsty. Especially when you're thirsty. Yeah. So that
famous.
for me is straight. It's straight Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's Johnny Depp doing Hunter S. Thompson. It's like, you literally you are somewhere around Barstow, when the drugs are kicking in. It's a classic look. And then, just as you were pointing towards, Greg, we get her talking about White Lotus and the Titanic. And I am White Lotus. I am the Titanic. Now, I'll put this in the show notes down below because I won't subject you to it right now. But I think I have some good reasoning why she is White Lotus and she is the Titanic based on the themes on that. But I won't bother you right now with that because there's also an option that it is just psychotic ranting and it has no real connection. I can connect it, I believe. But at the same time, I won't trouble you with it because there is a strong case for it is just neurons just making outlandish connections there. And then we get this this shackled gesture that she's doing. She talks about White Lotus and Titanic. Again, I got some reasoning for that. At the same time, I fully understand it could just be neurons just firing all together to create this gestalt of psychotic nonsense at the same time. Or maybe we are seeing into something quite profound. Scott, what do you got on this one?
All right. The decision has been made to keep her off the plane, And these guys, again, going to brag on them, and they do a great job. At this point, they could have said, all right, come on, darling, you're going to jail right now. And they could have, hooked her up and hauled her off, but they don't. They're still trying to keep things calm, still trying to de-escalate, doing a great job of that, And they're so patient, And I'll take this back to my experience with one of my first, when I first met the Nashville Police Department, became involved with them, was I'd been to Berklee College of Music in Boston, and I'd moved to Nashville. And when that happens, coming out of music school, of course, every now and then you might smoke some marijuana. And you might smoke it when you came to your new town, when you met some people, And if you smoke too much of it and go out, I could have been arrested and was almost arrested because I was trying to put a Volkswagen in my pocket. Don't ask. But that's what happened. And they were very professional, and I didn't get in trouble. I was just asked to go home. And I was given a ride home as well. So
did you get in quietly? Anyway. Did you get in quietly?
No. Because I was trying to tell them something they needed to know, And that's all I'll say about that. No, I did get in quietly because I thought I was brilliant right then during all that because I was just, all of us were, there's three of us. We all got in. It's just, wow. And it reminded me of the time, I'll tell one, well, no, I can't tell that story. But anyway, so yeah, they were very patient with me. And I can't get past how this is starting to look like an SNL, Saturday Night Live sketch. It's just getting so weird. And I can't get past it. I think I know what's happening here. So I can't talk about the body language because to me it seems fairly obvious. Mark, what do you got?
No,
Where did you go? Is that all of us? I'm last again?
That must be Chase, I think.
Oh, no, Chase. Okay.
Yeah.
Quit complaining.
Not the last. All right, Chase. Sorry, man.
If you remember earlier, she mentions needing to take another medication for anxiety for this flight. I bet that she did that on that plane, and now it's kicking in. There's a lot of medications that can cause thirst like this, but in reality, it doesn't matter. She's suffering a mental break of some kind, and she's definitely not fully present at all. So I'll turn this into another de-escalation thing for you. If you have to de-escalate somebody, using their name is very powerful. And just using their name to help speak to them And one other method I teach to police regularly in de-escalation training is mentioning 3 things that are true that their mind cannot disagree with. So you're getting subconscious agreement followed by some kind of illusion of choice. So it might sound like somebody saying, look, Rachel, it's Tuesday evening. It's raining outside. We've got your luggage right here. Would you rather walk out with us or we can escort you out? It's up to you. Something like that. Give a sense of control. So instead of keeping them trapped in the crisis, weird mindset, even if they are on some kind of drugs or something, we want to shift somebody's awareness into the future where they are already okay, where the moment's past. And just something as simple as saying, I know this moment right now feels endless, but just imagine yourself tomorrow looking back at this moment and realizing that you got through everything. Or something like, there's a version of you, even if it's just a few minutes from now, who feels completely stable or even just a little bit more stable than right now. So you want to move that person's mind past the immediate crisis and into some forward motion. And obviously, there's a lot going on. For a captain to kick somebody off of an international flight, it's a bigger deal than it is for someone just going on a domestic flight, because there's visa expiration dates that the airline's got to submit forms and stuff that she's legally required to stay here another day if it's on the last day of visas and stuff like that. So it's a big deal. The captain made a judgment call, but it wasn't just a normal judgment call throw off the plane. That had to have some consideration behind it. So something may have happened on the plane. That's all I got.
Oh, Mark, nice setup. Man, good lead in.
Yeah.
The water fountain.
What seems to be the issue?
I just need to be on this flight.
You can't get on this flight.
I need water immediately.
You've been denied boarding.
I need water immediately.
Nope. Stop. Stop.
Okay, help me towards the water then.
No, you're not getting on.
No, help me towards the water.
We'll get you water, but you're not getting on this flight.
Where's the water fountain? Can someone...
Carousel 10? All right.
Oh, get off me, man. Ask the water fountain.
Yeah, well, we're getting you water. Let's go.
I mean, seriously. Some women need to pee.
Let's go.
Because you can't be putting your hands on women like that.
When I'm escorting you out, I can. It's right here.
All right.
All right, so here's what's happening. You're going to stop and listen to me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
How dare you get your hands on me?
It's not going to happen. Here's the thing. You've been denied boarding.
By the captain. I listen to captain's orders.
And the
Because I've seen
captain
Titanic.
denied boarding.
I've seen Titanic. I am White Lotus. I am Titanic.
Okay.
Get your hands off me.
We're going out. We are escorting you out. You are requested to leave the property.
Well, guess what?
Get out of my face. Get out of my face. All right. Ma'am.
Get your hands off me while I drink my water!
Nope. Back up. Ready?
You've got to be ready to go. I'm gone in 60 seconds.
You're under arrest.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
No.
Turn around, put your hands
Not
behind your back.
again! Not again!
Put your hands behind your back.
Get your hands off me!
Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
No!
Stop resisting.
Help! Someone! Help! Help! Oh! Help!
Okay.
Stop.
Draw my heat, Tim. Draw my heat, Tim.
Yeah.
I just need some water.
Nope, just breathe. Just breathe.
Whoop. All right.
No. No.
Down to the car.
Yep. You got keys for your car?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going.
We're going. Come on. Everything's fine. I'm going to leave these up here and come back and go.
I'm not going in. I'm not going in. No, I'm not going in. I am not going in.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not. No, I'm hurt so bad. I'm hurt so bad.
You're fine.
No, I'm not going in. No, you're not. No. No way. No, I'm not going in.
Get in the car.
I'm not going in.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, you're hurting me so bad.
I'll get on the other side.
No, you're hurting me so bad.
Turn around.
No.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Oh.
Get in the car.
Oh.
Get in the car, right?
Oh.
Get in the car. There you go. Get in the car. Pick your left leg up and get in the car.
I was meant to arrive in London in the morning. My brother's meeting me at the airport.
All right. Get in the car.
I need to...
Scoot back and get in the car.
No.
Yes. Now.
You can do it by yourself or we'll force you.
Well, then take your hands off me so I can get in.
Okay, get in the car. Scoot back.
Because I am really tired and I'm really to get on this flight.
All right. No. Get in the car.
You have to be ready to be gone in 60 seconds.
Scoot back in the car.
Okay, I will, but
Okay.
these really hurt. And I'm a very good person and I don't deserve this.
Okay, scoot back in the car.
Okay, Chase, what do you got?
So she's mentally impaired here. We know she's seeking familiarity and control. The squad car is the opposite of that. It is the polar opposite of familiarity and control. And there's this instant realization as they're walking. The officer in the situation could say a few small things like, all right, I'm walking with you. We're just taking a few steps together. No rush. I know this might be overwhelming, but you're absolutely safe right now. You're still in control here. You're in control on how this plays out. You are totally in control of the outcome of this situation. We're just going to go step by step. Would you rather walk on my right or my left? Just kind of some kind of control illusion there, keeping it going. In reality, the resistance she's already given, the officers were probably justified to do a lot more aggressively than they actually did. So anytime a situation calls for de-escalation, every little detail can be useful. Even something that seems random can help keep things from escalating. And if you look at this moment, while the officer's trying to get her into the back of this car, she mentions her brother's picking her up at the airport. Now, that doesn't really matter for the case, but in the moment, it's gold. Instead of letting that slide, the officer could just bring that to focus on something familiar, just asking, oh, yeah, what's your brother's name? Is he older or younger? Stuff like that can do a lot. And it's because it shifts her out of panic mode and into something that's way more simple, easy to understand, and familiar. So it forces her brain to kind of switch gears. Another small but I think really powerful thing here is using her name a lot. So there's something about hearing your own name in a steady, calm voice that reminds you that you're still a person. It's not just a situation that's happening, it's grounding. And the biggest thing I think that, and I'm not saying they did anything wrong here. They were over the top, probably more self-control than 99% of law enforcement that I've seen. But reminding her that it's not permanent. And I'm saying this just so other people can get this for all of these situations when we need to de-escalate stuff. However you can, even something as simple as this is just a step, it's not the end, or one thing at a time, we're going to figure this out. Moments like this can feel like forever when you're the one in the middle of it. So the more you can remind somebody that they're just passing through, the less likely they are to be really resistant. So just to be clear, this is not about saying the officers did anything wrong. Not at all. It's just about finding those little moments where we can make things smoother, safer, maybe even save a life down the line using some of these de-escalation things, which is a great thing to have in your pocket. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know anything about this. None of us did. And I'd never seen these videos before, didn't know anything about the case. As I was watching this, rather like a video that we watched a while back of a woman who I think was a government official who'd got pulled over by the police and driven back to her house. Yeah. And then had been uncompliant with the officers, leaned into her car, and I'm thinking, she's going to get shot at some...
I remember this.
In this, I was thinking, this is going to go badly for her. She's going to get tasered at some point. If she's going to, I can't think what she's going to do. She's maybe going to go for a weapon, and that's going to end really badly for her. These officers keep really good distance all the time. I think there's only the time where they have to get close to cuff her that really they're in, and they do that, as far as I can see, absolutely perfectly, absolutely brilliantly, so that there's no proximity to the weapon there. Yeah, Chase.
Oh, Mark, what are you doing?
I'm interested in what he's got to say.
One thing I would say,
excellent.
It would. A little bit different in the first video, and one thing you learn if you work inside of institutions at all with guarding prisoners, all hot liquids should be treated as a weapon. So, and that, I mean, that is not a joke. I mean, having like boiling coffee poured on your face or something like that in a situation, next thing you know, 3 seconds later, your firearm's pulled out of your own holster and you're not the one holding it. So definitely be aware of like approaching people, and like if they're drinking soup or something, I always get a little barrier there.
Yeah. Well, you know, for my mind, I'm seeing some really good distance between them. I spent most of my time going, this could escalate somewhere awful. And I think the only reason that it doesn't is because of those officers there, because it in my mind, it so could. We get the dry tongue again. Again, it's evocative of prescription drugs, antipsychotics, antidepressants, some others as well. Again, you're right, Chase. There's no point in trying to speculate which of the many it could be. But I just want to reiterate again, this doesn't seem like the usual behavior of this, because we could get somebody here where you're going, yeah, they're that kind of person, and they're like that with everybody. And sure, something's taken them just that little bit more extreme. I don't think that's the case here. Scott, what do you got on this one?
I'm starting to feel sorry for her in a way, because this is being videoed. She knows it is. And she's sticking her tongue out like that and just leaving it out. That's not good, you know. And I think it's a combination of drugs. I think you guys are right. I think it's a combination of things. I think it's mostly the edibles, but I think that in combination with the other stuff she's taken, it just goes down a whole new road, you know. And again, I can't focus on body language because I'm so familiar with what's happening there from seeing people do it. Have been in the music business. That I'll move it on to Greg. Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, all that aside, there's still some indicators in here that something is changing. And we all talk about body language and behaviors being changed. None of this stuff really matters unless you see a deviation and a change. She shows us that she is not rational because she's fighting and saying, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this. And she's got a lot of denial going on. But then when she starts getting, and even then when they start putting her in the car and she says, you're hurting me, and he says, get in the car and I won't, you can't rationalize with her. Then she makes that loud cat noise. That's her cat brain screaming out, no idea what she's going to do from there. But then she comes up with a resume statement and says, I'm a good person, and. So her brain has come back online at least for a split second. And I think that's when we see the rationalizing and him getting her back in the car. And Chase, you brought up, she talks about, I'm to meet my brother at the airport. Her brain is functioning on a pure fact at least once. And she's saying, I'm a good person. I teach people all the time. You meet CEOs who have stage fright, and I teach them all the time, curl your toes in your shoes, do something. And it's not about the curling your toes in your shoes. It's about, what did Hartley tell me to do? And you're bringing your thinking brain back online, and you're taking control from that cat brain, and we see it happen right here for a split second. I still think, by the way, Chase, I think your point of trying to give people tools if they have to deal with this in their daily life had nothing to do with these police. I think they're doing a great job. Remember, their job is to keep law, order, and security. And they probably got another one to deal with right now or sometime soon. So their amount of time is finite. And they have a lot of non-lethal escalation tools that they didn't use already. When we were doing the UK4 TV show called Guantanamo Guidebook, we had no idea who we were taking down. One of them was a guy named Smiler Turner. Mark, you might know who he is. Big beast of a man and like the MMA champion for Europe. They didn't tell us that. We had pepper spray just in case when we saw who we had, because that's less than lethal and really powerful. They could have done a whole lot of stuff to her and they don't. So really good job. We can't say enough times.
Wait a minute. Let's talk about this. So then how did you get it? How did you take him down?
We did our usual
stuff. Where
stuff.
you would sneak up behind him and
That's what we did. We did our usual stuff and took him down. When people ask him, why didn't you fight back? He said, because I fight, they kill. Smart way to think. But he's a big guy. That guy was, I don't know what he's doing now. I think he's a motivational guy. If you guys who are UK based, Smiler Turner's a great guy. If he's doing motivational stuff, put it down in the comments. And if
apparently he's smart. If you would say,
smart guy, really smart guy. He was standing up to the guy I call the bearded one, the Don Landrum, who was my mentor.
We talk about him all the time. We got
conversations with him, and he was holding his own. Really cool.
Control 19, Tim.
Yeah.
Is this one?
Nope, just breathe. Just breathe.
Whoop. All right.
No.
Down to the car?
Yep. You got keys for your car?
Yeah.
I'm not going.
We're going. Come on. Everything's fine. I'm going to leave these up here and come back and go.
I'm not going in. I'm not going in. No, I'm not going in. I am not going in.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not. No, I'm hurt so bad. I'm hurt so bad.
You're fine.
No, I'm not going in. No, you're not. No. No way. No, I'm not going in.
Get in the car.
I'm not going in.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, you're hurting me so bad.
I'll get on the other side.
No, you're hurting me so bad.
Turn around.
No.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
Oh.
Get in the car.
Oh.
Get in the car, right?
Oh.
Get in the car. There you go. Get in the car. Pick your left leg up and get in the car.
I was meant to arrive in London in the morning. My brother's meeting me at the airport.
All right. Get in the car.
I need to
Scoot back and get in the car.
No.
Yes. Now.
You can do it by yourself or we'll force you.
Well, then take your hands off me so I can get in.
Okay, get in the car. Scoot back.
Because I am really tired and I'm really to get on this flight.
All right. No. Get in the car.
You have to be ready to be gone in 60 seconds.
Scoot back in the car.
Okay, I will, but
Okay.
these really hurt. And I'm a very good person and I don't deserve this.
Okay, scoot back in the car. Okay, scoot back in the car.
We tried to work with you.
No, you when I was in the women's toilets. You can still see through.
You're in the lounge. Right there. You're in the smoking lounge. When we left you, because you said all you needed was a smoke and you're going to make your flight.
Yeah. I need to make this flight.
Well, the flight is leaving. You've been denied boarding. You've been arrested for disorderly conduct. So you need to scoot back in the car so we can buckle you in. Just scoot back some so we can buckle you in, okay?
I'm not going to jail.
Yes, you are. We're at Bravo 7 on the ramp trying to get her in the car. Scoot back.
I'm not going to jail.
Yes, you are. Scoot back.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to make you. Scoot back into the car.
No, please, women.
Scoot
Oh,
back
women
into
watching,
the car.
please. Oh.
Scoot back into the car now. Thank you. over just a little bit. You're on the buckle. Scoot over. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay, the seatbelt was placed on you for your safety. If you unbuckle it at any point, it will not be rebuckled. It is up to you to keep it buckled. Do you understand? Okay.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, just a couple of things that kind of show where her brain's flipping from. She goes, I'm not going to jail. Very demanding. I mean, it's instructional. Then to help please, which is bargaining. Within moments, from one to the other. And just with antisocial behavioral disorders, you don't tend to get that flipping from one to, it should be more sustained. It should be more sustained. So again, it just speaks to, for me, not her usual psychology, but something that's been brought about by, clearly a psychotic break that's happening from whatever concoction is being taken. And then I think for me, we see her drifting in and out of consciousness in that car as well. I'm wondering whether there can be some adrenaline fatigue at this point because it's going to be, at the same time, there's got to be a part of her which is jacked up. There's a part of her which is going to be on adrenaline because part of her is going to notice that she's now potentially, run a federal offence. And that's never good. From experience, don't mess around in airports because there's certain things you can do where it's just going to be county, and then there's certain transgressions where it suddenly has become a federal offence, and you want to avoid that in an airport. So I think we're seeing some drifting in and out of consciousness at this point, which only exacerbates for me the fact that this isn't normal behaviour for her. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And if you want to know that she's having moments of lucidity that are peppered with non-lucid moments, she goes on about this toilet and how you could see her went through the wall when she's in the toilet, which makes absolutely no sense. But then she flips back and she starts saying, all you women who are watching, help. Well, she thinks she's on TV, like Cops or something, because of the machine, because of his body cam. So she's talking like this is TV, like she thinks she's on live TV somehow. So she's connecting dots that aren't there. There's all kind. I agree with you. She's in and out of lucidity, and I think more out here. She's starting to fail. She's mixing all these different stories, and they're still asymmetric. They're still really calm. They're still not doing anything crazy. Nice job, guys. Chase, what do you got?
Yeah, it's obvious there's a CNS depressant medication or something involved, falling asleep now. I know people take meds and fly all the time. But I think she just got unlucky and maybe mixed up some stuff. Last time I flew to London, I took a pill to go to sleep for the flight so I could wake up and kind of reset my clock. So I think it's a very common thing. She was rude and disrespectful, but I don't think that's who she is as a person at all. I think it's every piece of information I've seen says she was cognitively impaired enough that she may not even remember the incident very well. There was a band, maybe they're still around. They were called Filter. Anybody remember Filter?
Sure.
Yeah. The lead singer was Richard Patrick. And he had this crazy incident on a plane where he got so medicated / drunk that he ended up naked, which inspired, I think, their #1 hit song that's called Take a Picture. And it was his rock bottom, and it led him to this rehab and a commitment to sobriety that I think, I looked this up today, he's maintained ever since that day. So he took what could have been just a really dark, horrible chapter and made it the beginning of a recovery story. So this is great. And you can imagine if you had something like this happen to you, you don't really remember much of it, and now it's on the internet, and how you might feel the next day, where your kids seeing it and your family seeing it, who know that's not you. So our lowest moments can be the beginning of a really great comeback. Scott, what do you got?
I've worked with a lot of comedians. I know a lot of them, and like one of the singles I did helped put the biggest selling comedy album of all time in the Guinness Book of World Records, Jeff Foxworthy. Right. And what I've learned is from all these comedians, when something bad happens, it's going to be in their act. She's going to be talking about this, and it's going to probably be funny. You know, if she's funny, I haven't seen her act or anything, but if she's funny, she'll be able to turn this around and put it in her thing and make it funny. There was one time, if you get a chance to look this up because it's on the net, it's the time Dennis Miller, he used to take Ambien when he flew. And he talks about how when he took Ambien, the next thing he knew, the steward or stewardess was talking to him and saying, "Excuse me, sir, will you put your shirt back on?" So Dennis Miller's sitting up in first class without a shirt on because he took Ambien and don't remember when he took his shirt off. You know,
Or why?
So, yeah, or why? So, but I think she'll be able to. I agree with you, Chase. I think she'll be able to turn this around and make something funny out of it. I promise you, it'll be part of her act at some point. It'll be funny if she's funny. So that's all I got. Ooh, that was good, Chase. I give you that one.
Yeah.
Can you see your award?
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab it.
Okay. There it is.
So there's obviously it's got my name on it, but there's so many other people that led to the achievement of this.
I do my part.
Look, it could be me since I choose them.
There you go. Yeah.
There it
Leading
is. Speech.
champion.
Yeah.
I was saying to Chase
Good,
earlier
man.
that I've got my sights set on that one for next year. And on this side of my room, you
That's
can't see it here,
adorable,
but I've
by the
created
way.
a vision board where I made my number one, Chase Hughes, I am taking you down.
Just so you guys
Down
know,
to Chinatown.
I'm in first and second place for longest mute, so you got to work.
Man. Yeah, we almost had one on you there, Chase. That was going to be good.
Oh man.
Let's go back in the car.
No, you when I was in the women's toilets. You can still see through.
You're in the lounge. Right there. You're in the smoking lounge. When we left you, because you said all you needed was a smoke and you're going to make your flight.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the flight is leaving. You've been denied boarding. You've been arrested for disorderly conduct. So you need to scoot back in the car so we can buckle you in. Just scoot back some so we can buckle you in, okay?
I'm not going to jail.
Yes, you are. We're at Bravo 7 on the ramp trying to get her in the car. Scoot back.
I'm not going to jail.
Yes, you are. Scoot back.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to make you. Scoot back into the car.
No, please, women.
Scoot
Oh,
back
women
into
watching,
the car.
please. Oh.
Scoot back into the car now. Thank you. Scoot over just a little bit. You're on the buckle. Scoot over.
I can't
Okay.
help, mother.
Okay. There we go. Okay, the seatbelt was placed on you for your safety. If you unbuckle it at any point, it will not be rebuckled. It is up to you to keep it buckled. Do you understand?
I just need to
Okay.
All right. We've seen what I believe will become a classic piece of video in the future. We've made decisions about what we've seen. Mark, what did you see?
Yeah, Rachel, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, it is, it is what it is. I don't think she went out to create this situation. I think it's unfortunate. It is, of course, it has some moments of entertainment. I think one of the best things about it is just how calm those officers are around it and how they handle that. That's a lesson for us, isn't it? It's a lesson for all of us in how to manage those situations. Not all of us are that tolerant because it's not our profession to at times be that tolerant. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Chase, what do you think?
Yeah, totally agree. Rachel had a bad day. It was a rough day. We've all had horrible days, but most of us were fortunate enough not to have it on a body cam somewhere. We've all done crazy shit in our life. But Rachel is actually turning this into a show, Scott, apparently, and she'll be at the Glasgow Comedy Festival in just a few months to premiere the show that I think involves this incident.
Are you joking or is that true?
Absolutely serious.
Wow. Okay.
So, in wrapping up Write this one down on the fridge for a little while. People do not fight to prove they're right. People fight to prove that they matter. And it's a lot of what we were seeing in this video. Greg?
Yeah, every one of us has done something stupid, and we're not dead yet, so we might yet end up on body cam. So I'm always cautious what I say about somebody in particular. If I do end up on body cam, I hope it's with these guys who don't pepper gas me. Yeah. But she does exactly what you expect from somebody who has a lot of chemicals on board, because they start having rational and irrational moments. One of my favorites ever of all my Army drunk arguments with a guy is baiting a guy into a discussion about whether Fu Manchu or Mao Zedong was the greatest Chinese leader, and it went on for an hour. Beautiful.
Wow.
What do you?
Awesome. This is somebody just accidentally took some stuff they shouldn't have, too much of a couple of things, I think, by accident. And that's what happens when you do that. You know, there's nothing you can do about it except laugh at it once it's done. So, and I think that's good news, Chase. I'll hopefully it'll be online so we can watch it. Maybe it will be, especially since it's getting so much attention. So, but yeah, mark my words, if she's funny, it will be funny. She'll be able to pull it off and make it happen. Yeah. All right, fellas, I think this is another good one, and we'll see you next time.